on each other, and it's going to be in a culmination. This is Fighter Pass 2. This is the last patch of Ultimate, so this is what we're looking at. And I feel like these two players will scale very, very good with the meta.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Kita, can you run a prediction? Alright, I'll try to get you a prediction there. Min Min wins IMO, Kazuya is too slow.
Yeah, that was the one thing that Nito and I discussed. The reason why I was able to actually beat Nito in a couple of friendlies with Pyra and Mithra was because of not only the speed, but Kazuya being slow, but on top of that, the way that like Kazuya is essentially walled out by disjoints. But I think for Nito, he's doing his best foot forward and going Ken first to see how that's going to play with. I think that's what Nito always usually tries to amount for is what's the best character first and see how that plays out, and then go to the other character as a last chance.
Yeah, it's super important. Even if it's a comfort pick, even if on paper the matchup won't look so good, Nito's the type of player that's going to stick with his guns. You know, a lot of people will question mark, like, what is he doing? Why is he playing this character over that one? But Nito definitely knows how to play his game and what character he needs to do that with. So it's going to be very exciting to see how this goes out. Apparently, Nito starting with the Ken here, has the box Kazuya in case things get out of hand, and I think that Min Min is very well equipped out of all the fighting game characters, because I guess she is fighting games, to deal with the fighting game characters. A lot of Min Min can be kind of summarized as a character that can cover one of two options very well, the ground or the air, and I think that FGC will definitely struggle with linearity in terms of approaching, and I think that's what Min Min's going to punish really, really hard, supposing Nito can't get in. But then, to Nito's point, I mean, Nito has some of the best air-to-air game out of any FGC, getting a lot of conversion off of aerials, so it's going to be a lot for both of these players to deal with.
It is about when he is able to... So the thing about the way that... We'll see how the first interaction goes, but the way that I do see this here is Peckham is going to be using a lot of the movement to kind of push around Nito, but also you'll see that jump so that he can essentially cover the jump in or just cover the intent to jump in. And on top of that, it is like Nito can put a lot of damage on Peckham. But also, like, look at the way that Peckham had put himself in the corner, too. Even though you are able to wall out your opponent, you're putting yourself at a disadvantaged state in terms of being on the stage.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the crux of giving Min Min the ability to move while throwing out that side B, is that a lot of Min Min players will force themselves into the corner subconsciously. A lot of time they're like, I'm going to swing and drift back to be less punishable, and that's exactly where the FGC wants to push you. In that corner where they're so strong, no matter if they're in Street Fighter or in Smash, when you're in the corner versus them, you're going to suffer.
Yeah, so far Nito doing a pretty good job. He's waiting for Peckham to just leave a little bit of an opening, and then he'll put in, and that's how it should be played.
Yeah.
You want to wait for your opponent to finally land, or have that small opening.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this so far, Peckham, a player that likes to go for a lot of these cross-ups in scramble situations, wants to get away from the pressure in any way he can. And I think crosses for Min Min are super underrated. Peckham going really low for that side B and getting caught in that true short Yuken, unable to recover.
And the thing about Min Min's recovery, too, is it does have a blind spot where the actual arm will not actually grab onto the ledge, and you won't be able to recover as deep. Compared to all the other characters who have tethers, Min Min's is actually pretty weak.
Yeah. Especially in comparison to that Joker and Violet that do really benefit from having a good tether recovery, but, you know, Peckham's not going to get that much convenience, and that was a great side B there. Nito had no double jump, and I feel like that's where it's going to be played out. Can Peckham throw Nito off stage, and can he hit those side B two frames?
Yeah, but also good on Nito to actually try to stall himself before Peckham can actually get that entire Ram, especially the arc that Peckham can send it out. It's good for Nito to also understand that. No, so far for Nito, every time he's gone deep, he's done a pretty good job of seeing how Peckham's going to edge guard him still, and then wait for that last opportunity to actually go for it. To show you.
I definitely agree here. Peckham having some charge on that laser is going to be very scary, and Nito overshooting with a downer, sending Peckham off stage. Now back to the corner, trying to land with forwarders, get any conversion he can, gets a down tilt there, but I mean, looking at this so far, Nito's trying to induce scramble situations, and Peckham is losing them with that forwarder into downer conversion, and yeah, scramble. Let's see if Peckham can hold some control in the game, or if Nito's going to run away with it.
And that's the thing, too, is that Nito is the small advancing wall. He knows that, like, Peckham has been moving himself in the corner, so now it's Nito to push himself an advantage. And then look at the way that Peckham is kind of, at this point in the game, he is looking to just try to wall out Nito, but Nito's slowly chasing him down. Eventually, you do have to fight Ken, and unfortunately for Peckham, Min Min does not have that many great close range options. Yeah. That's where she suffers. And then for Nito, he's able to get big damage, put Peckham off in the corner, force that low recovery, and then try to go for some kind of edge guard here. or just go for a spike.
It's a vicious route, and I think one Nito is going to be very comfortable with. Peckham getting...
Oh, what a read.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, gets the push off, though. Yeah, that edge is going to be able to be very good for Peckham to get away from that. Again, a down tilt trying to go for a crossover, even popping up Nito here. Going for these side Bs, trying to catch Nito in the air, but it does not matter. Nito is going to jump as you're going to take the side B and get that true Shoryuken conversion. Exactly, in very Nito fashion, and Peckham needs a bigger stage or something a little bit more flat because he's getting run down.
PS2 is not a... PS2 is the classic starter, but for if you're in this situation, something like Town and City would have been better, just to have the platforms to be able to move around with. Possibly Battlefield, just to have more space. Kalos is another excellent as well. What you're looking for is space to move around, Ken.
No, I definitely have to agree with you on that. And I'm looking to see kind of where Peckham is going to go. I guess we're going Kalos versus...
Everyone is asking him to go Ryu or Terry.
Nito, go Terry! I'm making a request too. I like the Terry. Okay, we're going Ken. Nito wants to win. I don't blame him. It's his featured week.
It's his featured week. You want to make sure if you're featured, man, you're at least getting top 3 in that graphic.
Oh yeah. Beautiful graphic from Eggy. Shout out to Eggy, of course. Getting into this game number 2 on this Kalos, a very good pick for Min Min, I think, ideally. We're going to see if Peckham's able to execute, though. I feel like Nito, no matter what's going to try to run at you, no matter how big the stage is going to be, so it's going to be tough on Peckham.
The way to look at Kalos is pretty much Final Destination with different edge guarding, because you now have a wall to bounce off. Not that you didn't have a wall back in Final Destination, but you also have those platforms at the ledge, giving you different options to try to land.
Oh, great back air landing from Nito as well, trying to get a little bit extra percent for Peckham being overzealous in the corner. Gets the landing ram, but no conversion off of it. Nito's DI has been very good on those hits to go up. You do not want to go low against Min Min's side B, especially with that charge. Covers that Tatsu very, very well on the recovery. But Nito finally landing, and I feel like his usage of that double jump has been so much better than Peckham, in the sense is he's using that double jump in that last moment so he can land with a button and punish Peckham.
Yeah. After you exhaust both arms, there is that little frame window in which you can actually punish.
Literally there, yeah.
And that's what Nito is constantly looking for. It isn't open. The character has a lot of core strengths, but there is also the fundamental weakness of like, okay, cool, you do have... Every zoner will always have a weakness in terms of returning frame data.
It's the foot's still working out there. No true Shoryuken from Nito. And Peckham's going to take those. Looking rough though. Gets the down tilt into a grab, trying to cover Nito with a roll behind, and that's taking 66% for these Hadokens too. Going to be very good at forcing Peckham to go low, giving Nito time to set up ledge traps.
That's good. So for Peckham in that scenario, he went for a small juggle, looked to see how Nito was going to land, and then amount for that in terms of space, then go for the grab, just because of how big the grab is range, but also trying to bait out Nito's potential landing with focus attack. So Peckham is kind of catching up to Nito's landings. That's going to be a back throw for stage control, and the arm, that would have been the stock there. But going for the neutral air with the dragon, and then the ram once more, Nito is in a pretty tough spot here. And the final read after the air dodge too. Good slip to Peckham. Like I said, he is catching up to Nito slowly in terms of the recovery, but also looking how Nito is playing the game as well. Really
good coverage from Peckham there too. Not getting too antsy when having that ledge against Nito. Let's see now. Nito on a ledge trap gets the double, triple down tilt into the crescent kick, able to take it. And now we're on even stocks here on this Kalos.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like a Peckham game, but Nito, we've seen what he can do in that punish, getting the run down there. What a read from Peckham. Gets the grab on an overshoot aerial, and he's dead.
This is rough for Nito.
Oh, the blind spot of the side B.
No, he can still survive, but unfortunately, he's going to be a little bit too low, and he won't be able to make What a change up from Peckham. But like I said, he had been making those small adjustments. He had been looking to just catch Nito on the landings and also amount for that focus attack. Even though there's no multi-hits, that focus attack will be able to just power through and still safely land. And Peckham was already looking to adjust towards that. We saw that with a grab attempt at the range. We saw that with a small juggle. We saw that even on his air dodge read.
Yo, I agree, and I think that like Peckham cashing on that read with the air dodge. I think a lot of times Nito was committing to those overshoots into the corner, forcing himself into really, really bad situations. Peckham capitalizing it, gets the throw off stage, and you're just looking at a really rough spot as a Shota here going to random battlefield. A good stage against Min Min. I think Min Min definitely will struggle with those platforms. You have a lot more room to kind of go. Min Min, a character that I like to call the 50-50 character, and when there's so many platforms and things to deal with, it's really hard for Min Min, especially that top platform.
Shoutouts to the Sound counter pick. We're also using one of the best battlefields in FDs. Is the Hyrule version.
Yep.
Temple of Time.
Yep.
My opinion is probably one of the best ones.
All right, here we go. Battlefield, a very good stage for Nito. Definitely, I think, anti-Min stage. Surprised Peckham didn't ban it. Okay, let's see what gets started.
But also, like, you have to look at it from example for Peckham too. There is a little bit of to be gained here.
Yeah.
Because you're able to use the platforms to move around.
That's
Nito.
true too. That's true too.
And at this point, look at the way that Peckham is. He's just able to still throw out each arms, have that platform to still land. It gives you a little bit more options, and look how Nito is still a little bit more cautious of how he's approaching him at the corner. Like he said, there is something that Peckham does gain from here. Once Nito gets in here, he puts Peckham in a rough spot. Not gonna be that blind zone that Min has. Still able to recover with the special.
That's the cross-up I was talking about as well. Peckham being very comfortable there, but Nito getting a lot of opportunity to force him back in the corner. Goes for a forward smash on a miss input. A high uppy read from Peckham is gonna rack on a little bit more percent. Gets the focus attack through the megawatt. And Nito wants those overshoot arrows to catch something. That's not real. Bro, that's not real. What's the K9 clip? Why can you do that?
It's one of those deals of like, it's the strong hit that's towards the end that'll be good enough. And it just reaches through, but he also is catching Peckham in the middle of the retreat, and I think that's what Nito is accounting for. Is the eventual, I'm trying to get out of the corner, let me read my opponent as he's trying to get out of the corner, and then punish him for doing so.
I couldn't say it better, and yeah, this is where you don't want to be as Peckham. You're forced on the ledge versus Nito, who's getting away with these full hop aerials. 37% on a conversion now. Nito chasing down. Gonna go for the true Shoryuken. Battlefield 2, the Blast Zone's gonna help out a lot in that survival rate. Down tilts here, trying to just shark out a landing, catch anything Nito can. Peckham really struggling in his own space, and I feel like that's exactly the uncomfortableness that Nito thrives in.
And you have to give Peckham a little bit of a benefit of the doubt too. There are some opportunities where he can go for grab, just the way that Nito is constantly trying to approach the shield. He can start to condition Nito to be careful for shield, but also he knows Nito might be trying to use that against him, because at the end of the day, he's still at the corner. Alright, good for Peckham. Kind of fakes out the jump there from the corner. Gets right back towards the ledge. Doesn't see the center stage is ready yet. Like I said, he tries to commit to the grab, but at the end of the day, you're still out of the corner. You have to amount for that disadvantage.
Good down tilt up smash from Peckham, getting a little bit more percent.
Oh, and the parry.
Alright, there we go. Gets the true Shoryuken, but I don't know if to kill quite yet. That's the benefit of Battlefield, I think, for Peckham. They're living those Shoryuken confirms a lot earlier or a lot longer. Can't live that one, though. 132% after the hit, and Nito looking very comfortable here.
I'm not surprised characters like Cat honestly have the elbow to the Shoryu, because we have like jab, raw back air with characters like Royce. I'm not surprised some of this is in the game.
Peckham, high Tatsu from Nito on a mix-up. That was really good.
That's good. Nito wants to keep his recoveries.
Commentator's curse.
I mean, I have to give Nito the credit. You don't want to go for the low recovery because how Peckham had been adjusting to that towards the middle of this game.
That jab block. Oh, he tried to go for a read.
Yeah,
oh my god, look at that combo. That was crazy. Peckham with the S-Guy goes both through, but that auto-correct from the Shotos is definitely going to help him through that combo. 88%. Peckham going for a grab out of the corner.
What spacing, too. The way that just, that's the third time we've seen a grab, and you have to respect Peckham for it because he hasn't gone for many grabs, knowing how Nito might predict that.
Yeah, that's the grab into shimmy from Nito, able to space out that. Little FGC fundamentals coming out from there, but Peckham swinging in the corner, and Nito just runs up, gets the jab into the Shoryuken, and that was exactly what you need to do as a Shoto there. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Expose the clear weakness, but also patience is a virtue with the character.
Bro. Okay, cool. Thank you guys for having me. I'm sorry I have to cut off my block early, but I'm getting picked up soon. Vance,
nice.
It was a pleasure. I'll see you guys next week. We're going to have Nitro here. Definitely come show up. I'll see you guys later. Peace out, guys.